You know, when a long year finally wraps up, we all say goodbye. But what if goodbye could be more than just a word? What if it held this ancient power to help us let go of the past and really step into the future? Today, we're going to dig into a hidden meaning behind saying farewell that goes back thousands of years, but is more relevant right now than you could ever imagine. And believe it or not, it all starts with a potato. So this whole idea, for me, it actually started in a place I absolutely love, Turkey. And it began with a food I will never, ever forget. This thing is called a kumpir. It's this massive baked potato sliced open, and then it's just a free-for-all. They stuff it with everything from corn and olives to sour cream. My wife and I, we were obsessed. Seriously, it's one of those amazing little travel memories, you know? But it wasn't the most important thing I found there. The other thing I picked up was this phrase, Güle Güle. Now, if you just Google it, it'll tell you it means goodbye. But in Turkey, people use it in a very specific way, and its real meaning goes so much deeper. It's not just a casual see ya, it's a special kind of farewell, one that kind of hints at a much, much older story. So what's the deal with Güle Güle? What makes it so different from any other way of saying goodbye? Well, to find the answer, we have to rewind way back. We're leaving the streets of modern Turkey and jumping all the way to ancient Israel, into a super dramatic story about two friends in a life-or-death jam. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're diving into the world of two famous friends, David and Jonathan. And this isn't just some nice story about friendship. This is about loyalty when your life is on the line. David, the big hero everyone loves, has suddenly become a target for a very powerful, very jealous man. And his best friend, Jonathan, is stuck right in the middle of it all. So you've got King Saul, who is Jonathan's dad, by the way, and he is just eaten up with jealousy. He literally wants David dead. Now, David knows he's in deep trouble, but Jonathan just can't bring himself to believe that his own father's hatred could be that real. They've hit a crisis point, and they have to figure out the truth before it's too late. Their whole plan hinged on this really important event called the New Moon Feast. This was a fancy royal dinner, and it was mandatory. David was the king's son-in-law and a military hero. He had to be there. So if his seat was empty, oh, that's not just going to be noticed. It's a huge insult to the king's authority. And that is exactly what they were counting on to force Saul to show his true colors. But think about it. How do they get the message out? There are no cell phones, no secret texts. The situation was so dangerous that they had to come up with a secret signal, a totally clever plan to get the verdict to David without giving away his hiding spot. The plan itself was pretty clever, but man, the stakes could not have been higher. Jonathan would just pretend he was out practicing with his bow and arrow. If he yelled out to his servant that the arrow was beyond you, that was the code. It was a message that basically meant, it's over, get out of here, run for your life, and do not look back. It was designed so they wouldn't even have to see each other one last time. But Jonathan finds out the worst. His dad really does want to kill David. And he just can't let his best friend run off into the wilderness without saying a real goodbye. He sends the servant boy away, and he risks absolutely everything for one final, heartbreaking, face-to-face farewell. A moment so powerful, people have been telling this story for thousands of years. And the Bible describes this moment so powerfully. It says they wept together, but David wept the most. And of course he did. I mean, think about it. He was losing his best friend, his home, his safety. His entire life was about to be flipped upside down. He was becoming a fugitive. And then Jonathan says the words that are the whole reason we're talking about this today. He doesn't say good luck or stay safe. He looks at his friend and says, go in peace. Now this is not a casual farewell. This is a deep, powerful blessing. So what did he mean by that? Go in peace? Well, this is where we connect everything back to that Turkish phrase from the beginning. This is where it all clicks. Okay, check this out. This is the big reveal. Remember how Güle Güle is what the person staying behind says to the person who's leaving? It's all about sending someone on a journey. Well, the ancient Hebrew phrase Jonathan used, lek shalom, it literally means go towards peace. It's the exact same idea. It's a blessing you give someone who is heading out on a long, hard, uncertain journey, spoken by the one who has to stay and let them go. It's mind-blowing, right? The phrase I heard on the street in Turkey is a direct echo of this ancient, powerful blessing. So, lek shalom, or go in peace. This isn't your everyday see you later. This is for the heavy stuff, the really tough goodbyes. It's what you say when you have to release someone you care about into a future you can't be a part of. It's more than a wish, it's an act of letting go. It's a prayer that says, I know your road ahead might be rough, but I pray it ultimately leads you towards safety and peace. Okay, so what does a story from thousands of years ago have to do with us, right here, right now? Well, it's the perfect way to think about what we all have to do at the end of every year. It's time to say goodbye to the year that was. Think about it. As we stand here on December 31st, we're actually in the same spot Jonathan was. There's something that's been with us intensely for 365 days, and now we have to let go of it and send it on its journey into the past. We're the ones staying behind, right? And the year 2025, it's the one that's leaving. So we can actually look back at this year with all its wins and all its losses, and we can say to it and really mean it. Güle Güle. Go in peace. So what exactly are we releasing when we say that? Well, we're letting go of the plans that fell through, the regrets that still kind of sting, those difficult relationships, the unresolved worries that kept you up at night. We are making a choice to let the burdens of this year leave with this year. And let's be super clear, this is not about forgetting or pretending the bad stuff didn't happen. It's about releasing. It's about deciding that the disappointments of 2025 are not going to be the baggage you haul into 2026. We let it go so we can walk into the new year lighter and freer. But you have to wonder, how did David even find the courage to walk away into that terrifying unknown future? Just before he left, Jonathan reminded him of a promise, that even when they were apart, something greater was watching over both of them. And that was the source of their peace. It was this belief that no matter how scary the road ahead looked, they weren't walking it alone. So, as we wrap this up, the big question for you isn't just if you're going to say goodbye to this year. We all do that. The real question is, how? What do you need to release? What pains, what regrets do you need to send on their journey into the past? Take a second and decide how you are going to look back at this year and say with all the meaning in the world, go in peace.